Greetings and hello. We are at Vaccination Milestones to Six Figures. You can print this out, and what I want to encourage you to do is print it out. And there's just a lot of content in here. Now, let me give you a fair warning. And here's the warning. Vaccinations are usually semi-unpleasant, and they sting. Like if you go to the doctor's office and your arm's out and they're going to give you a vaccination, it kind of hurts a little bit. But they can save you from death, okay? Just a little vaccination now will allow you to survive some of these diseases that wipe out most people in our industry. And really, what I want you to do is I want to be as sensitive and I want to be as wise as possible, but I want to there's no getting around the issue that I am vaccinating you right now, which means even when, well, here's the gist of a vaccination. In the needle, it gives just enough of something bad, just enough so that your body can deal with it under healthy, minimal circumstances. And sometimes there's even some swelling, and sometimes there's even a little bit of reaction. But it's such a small dose, and it's not the full sweeping epidemic that you catch, that you get to stay alive. Now, here's the gist of it. I know that if you can hear my voice, you have potential to be a 6 or 7-figure earner. And what I'm about to do, this is not really a positive thinking. I've attempted to make it gentle, but I'm telling you, this is kind of the type of thing where some people are going to feel the sting and they're going to feel the bump and say, man, this training, I don't even know if I want to be in this industry. But the gist of it is I know that's going to happen. There's going to be some fallout on that, but the bigger thing, I want you to be healthy. I want you to be able to encounter the inevitable setbacks and see them as milestones and see them as actually encouragement. See, I want you to be encouraged when you hit some of these things. So some of these are step by step. And what I want you to do is print these out, and when you've done them, just check mark them and put a little date. If you really want to go deep in this, you decide to try online marketing. All right, well, obviously check that. Put a little date, and you'll see that as you go through this, at the very end, you get to the very end, all of a sudden, you're literally going to be at 6 figures, and you're going to look back, and I'll meet you somewhere, and you'll say, Mark, I can't believe it. I actually climbed up to 6 figures, and this training will have an impact on you. So that's my vision. That's my goal. So let's get going, and this is intense. Watch it a couple times. I'm going to go speedy. I don't want to waste too much time. So here we go. Number 1. You decide to actually try online marketing. Mark it and put the date on there. It'll be fun. You purchase your purchase of something. Sometimes you decide before you buy something. So you join a system, you start a blog, you do a starter kit. What was the day? These are often the same day. You feel like you are getting stuff set up forever. This is your system profiles, your domain registering, your blogs, your account set up, just up the wazoo, your autoresponders and your affiliate links and whatever, and you feel like you're doing this forever. Now, some of you are right there right now. Some of you literally just got rolling, blah, 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 and now this is where you feel. The technical stuff is just too much, and you quit. This is where we have some casualties right here. There's some death toll. The body count starts right at that, just on the setup of stuff, because it can be excruciating. But if you don't quit, here's what happens. Now, stick with me. This is going to be fun. I want this to be fun. It's a vaccination, but it's fun. You attend a conference or a rally of some kind, and you meet people who are actually making money. Again, this is more for the network marketer, direct response person. If you are outside of that industry, this vaccination thing, there'll be some relevant things for you, but it's mainly niched out and designed for MLMers, network marketers, direct sales people. So you attend a conference or a rally and you meet some people who are actually making money. You, just by being associated with them, feel like you have more hope. This is good, and it's good to chart this stuff down, because here's what's going to happen. If you print this down and you go through this, you'll be able to date this, and all of a sudden your ego will be able to disengage a little bit, and you'll be able to say, you know what? I'm on a proven path right now. This isn't just guesswork in my private experience. This is a proven path of how to get to 6 figures. So here it is. You attend the rally and you have more hope. Now, you attend countless webinars and buy a crap ton of courses and info products, all promising to be the silver bullet. And here's the gist of it. Some of them actually are the silver bullet. but none of them create instant income on their own. So you hit a stage where you're motivated, you've got some hope, you start hitting countless webinars, countless trainings, just tons of courses you're buying and info products, and they're all kind of are the silver bullet, but none of them actually are the silver bullet. It's kind of an enigma, but whatever. Finally, mark that down if that's you. Finally, breakthrough moment. You realize that without leads, your business doesn't stand a chance. This is a dawning revelation. Some people set up accounts forever and they attend webinars forever, but they really have no revelation that without leads and prospects, the game's done. So, timid and fearful of spending money on advertising, you know won't yield any success because you don't know what the heck you're doing. You probably want to try the free avenues forever. So here's where you just start blogging, and you literally think that just pure SEO is going to take you to the limelight. And I'm not against SEO, but this is just a step. And a lot of people that don't want to spend money start with the free avenues. Now, here we start getting into some of the vaccinations. Stick with me. Here we go. After a few months or years, you quit, feeling totally convinced that you gave 100% effort. This is in the free stuff. But that this whole industry isn't what it's cracked up to be, because you have given 100% effort. It's not like you're not attending those webinars with all your heart. You're not learning with all your heart. You're not doing everything with all your heart. But you're doing it for so long, and you just feel like, you know what, this whole industry is not what it's cracked up to be. Or B, you tell yourself the industry is a scam. Or C, you just don't think you are good or smart enough to succeed with your imperfect personality, your slightly flawed body image, your technophobia, and your doubting spouse and family in the background. D, well, this economy is tough. So you blame it on the economy, or you blame it on your own doubting self-image, and you blame it on your spouse pressure, and you blame it on the fact that, you know what, it's really depressing. I should add this one in here. You'll see people, you've been in for 6 months, and then you'll see people who have been in for 1 month, and they blow right past you, and they're making sales right away, and leaders are chiming them in and saying, check out this person. They've only joined 2 months ago, and they've already made $10,000, and you start feeling like a total pile. I have been there. I should have added that one, but it's too late. Finally, so check these off. Finally, you begin to spend money on advertising instead of just info products. This is a bingo. I want you to really see this. Finally, you begin to spend money on advertising, pay-per-click stuff, and solo easy articles, and really true direct response marketing instead of just buying info products. You resisted early to this because you thought you needed just one more silver bullet before you were worthy to start spending money on PPC or solo easy ads or video ads. So here's what happens. A lot of times you think, you know what, I got to buy one more product and then I'll know, because I just don't know enough to actually start throwing my own money out there in advertising. But when you have this revelation that you have to spend your own money and you are eager to do it in advertising, check that box off, put a smiley face, and date that sucker. And if that's right now, do it. Let's keep moving. So here's when we start getting into, and again, this isn't necessarily perfectly sequential because everybody's a little unique, but here we are. You generate your first lead. It's your first opt-in. It feels amazing. You personally email them and they ignore you. You feel a little dejected, but you did get your first lead. Here we go. You generate your first 10 leads. Your ROI, return on investment, is way low because none of these leads seem to care. It's 10 leads. It's not 1,000 leads. It's 10. But to you, they're like individual children. They're very precious in the early days. But none respond the first 10, and you begin to doubt if you are even being responsible as an adult spending money on these inert leads, these lifeless leads that you're generating, while you stress out in the other world about just making minimum credit card payments and paying the rent and mortgage. And it really seems like you're throwing money down the drain. You quit. This is another you quit moment. This is where a lot of people quit. They do the free thing forever. They set up accounts forever. They train forever. And then they start doing some marketing, and then they get about 10 leads. But they realize, heck, these leads cost me $50. Nobody even responded. I'm out of here. That's where a lot of people die. More body count build up right there. Now, let's keep moving, though. Or, if you don't quit, you actually have your first lead connect with you in social media, or they shoot you an email and follow up with some questions. Now, questions are buying signs. You are nervous and wait to call them. and they disappear. See, a lot of times in the computer, the typing, you might type back and forth or something, but then that phone thing comes up, like the real time deal comes up, and you kind of stall on this, and you want to live here, but we're people, and people still live in real time at some level. So there is some phone, and a lot of times you're just too nervous, and the lead disappears, and it's kind of depressing. But by this time, again, I want you to print this out and just kind of work through this and alter it as need be for you. But by this time, you start putting specific calls to actions in every piece of info you send, aka every video says, you can call me direct at whatever, or email me at whatever, instead of just visit my blog. What does that mean? Have a direct response mechanism built in so that people can actually respond to you. And you realize that if you make yourself super real to people, this is a big light bulb here. You realize if you make yourself super real to people, you stand out from the crowd that hides behind their computer. Finally, if you keep pressing on, a leader prospect says they will join your MLM or your direct sales company. You have probably spent an hour on the phone with them and countless emails. You finally bit the bullet. Now you're on the phone. Elated, you go out to eat to celebrate. I mean, it's a sense of relief. It's a sense of calm. It's a sense of, you know what? I've been working. I did these leads. Now they joined. You're elated. It's time to celebrate. After the phone call, you check your back office of your MLM and you realize that they didn't sign up. You call them. You email them. They are gonzo. They went into the witness protection program. They're goners. They said they were going to join and they don't join. Right here, many, many people die 1,000 deaths because it's so emotional to get your first yes. Especially, I'm talking out of thin air. It's like when you work in internet business, it's like this money comes out of thin air. It's magical. It's beautiful. You can do this. Again, this is the vaccination stuff. I'm just working you through some of the stuff, that the inevitable traps and that cause people to quit. Now, if you do get a hold of this lead that said they tell you that their kid just got sick. Literally, they just got sick right after you hung up the phone. Or the car broke down at the exact moment they were going to order. The second they were going to order, their wife comes in and says, we need new brakes on the car and we can't afford this. And that they're going to join later. You feel sorrow and defeated thoughts again. If you've been there, mark it and date it. Some of these you're going to avoid. Some of these aren't going to happen, but I'm just telling you, I've been in this. I've seen the game played so many times. And what this is really the manifestation of a lot of private conversations I've had to keep people in the game. And a lot of times it's just like it happens, and then I go, oh, man, I should have told you that was coming. So I'm really giving you my heart right now. So when that happens, you quit. You realize you make more money at your part-time job without the stress of stalking. You feel like you're stalking these prospects and wasting your time. I mean, your kids are getting neglected now. You're on that dang computer so much. So you quit. Or you finally get some training on closing people. Like you actually decide to take yourself a bit more seriously and you start applying closing strategies and sales strategies in your emails, your videos, and on the phone. Maybe you buy some sales books, you buy some sales courses, and you realize, I got to take myself seriously or this isn't going to work. Now, you start applying some of these, and it's usually just a simple technique. All of a sudden, someone actually joins. And another person joins shortly after that, and another one shortly after that. Once they start falling, boom, 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 it starts happening, and this is a great moment for you, and this is something that I want you to celebrate because you do it. Now, here's the vaccination that comes up inevitably. You promised each of them that you'd coach them vaguely. You just said, I'll coach you, and suddenly you realize or perceive them to be slow at learning. You see these three people as kind of slow. They're just not moving very fast. You spend hours training your team instead of building your team with new people. So instead of just keeping going and adding more people, now that you've got some inertia, a lot of times instead of walking forward and marching this way, you turn around and you just start really like a mother hen, these 3 to 5 to 10 new people on your team, that all this residual income, you're looking at your whole residual income bound up in these 10, 5, 3 people. And you start training people instead of building your team. This is a common thing. I'm going to someday wish you don't do that. But I've told people to not do it, and they still do it. So I'm just working with the facts here. 2 out of your 3 new people quit or give such a pathetic effort, you actually feel bad you brought them in because buying your product was expensive for them. 2 out of the 3 are gone. They're gonzo. And you know what? The truth of it was, it was a sacrifice to join for both of these guys. And this is a vaccination thing. About this exact same time, as you keep marketing, you get your first email back from a lead that says, F you, you scammer. You and all your loser friends just try to take advantage of people. If you really cared, you'd help me for free. It's coming, my friends. And a lot of times when it happens, people just freak out. All this stuff is just too much. You fear for your children with such evil people sending emails out there, right? I mean, these email people, they said F you, and I mean, what if they know who I am now, and oh my gosh, and all this paranoia. And it's just all too much. So you quit. You press on, wobbly and nervous, and recruit a few more people in your business. I mean, you kind of quit. I mean, this stuff really starts throwing people, okay? I'm just giving you a little vaccination. Remember, we're at the doctor's office. This is just a little potion, just a little bit of it. Now, if you press on, you're going to recruit a few more people, and here we go. Your upline is going to give you some recognition for your new sales on a webinar or something, or an email or a leaderboard, and you're going to be asked to share a couple of your strategies. Now, this is exciting. You're getting some public glory. Now, after you do the webinar, people start connecting with you on social media, and you have a deep pit in your stomach that goes, oh my gosh, if my piddly results are being celebrated, this is a joke. I have barely even made much money. In fact, if you factor in the travel I've spent to get to the conferences, all my courses I've bought, and my upfront costs, I'm actually way down. And it's kind of like you start thinking like maybe maybe this whole thing's a joke. Just be ready for that feeling. Now, because you now have some glory and recognition, you think you know what you are doing. I mean, it's funny. As soon as you get the glory, it says, sometimes getting some recognition puffs our heads up. And you think you know what you're doing, and you're so busy in your own business that you don't buy any more info products from leaders. This little bit of glory makes you feel like you are, in the big boys and big girls club. So now you don't follow anymore. See, at the start, you were following, you were hungry, you were this, or that, you were really learning, you were really going deep and learning new marketing, and now you got a little bit of glory and people think you're a leader, and now all of a sudden you think you're above being a student. This happens all the time, and it's poison. So here's what happens, and this is the vaccination. If that's the case, you stick around the industry, and you carve out a meager existence of maybe 30 to 70,000 a year until death do we part, or you just get a normal job with normal hours and call it good. AKA, this is another form of quitting. When I say quitting, I'm not just meaning that you pack it up and you're gone. I mean, you quit growing, you're just plateauing. And then, you end up going into irrelevance. And I've seen this too many times. And a lot of it, what happens is a little bit of glory, a little bit early. People think they're on the inside and that they haven't made that much money. And so the whole industry is a joke. And they don't realize the time freedom and the money that's there. There's so much more money than you could, I don't want to say that you could dream of, but it's shocking if you stick with this. Now, follow me, everybody. Remember, let's take a breath here because this is kind of getting depressing. But again, it's a vaccination. This isn't a lollipop. It's a vaccination. So here we go. Even though the weight of your team is on you now, you just keep bringing people in. You figure it out. Pretty soon, instead of meeting with people one-on-one, you start hosting webinars. So now you move from a one-on-one to a one-on-many. And this is where you can start leveraging stuff. There's a huge insight. You also attend another live event. This is another big one. Let's get a little congratulations. Let's get some good spirit in here. You attend another live event and really start bonding with new friends who are on the same path as you, and you start to feel the whole world is opening up to you. This is really cool socially, and this is a good thing. This is a good sign. You're going to start bonding with people who are on the same journey as you are, and they're committed to it, and you're going to feed off each other, and there's going to be electricity with each other. And sometimes it's new romances that come out of this industry, sometimes it's best friends. A lot of my best friends, my top 20 best friends, there's probably 10 of them from this industry. I mean, that's a brand new world for me. It could be the same for you if you don't quit on those earlier vaccination things. So here we go. Now, your first webinar. It terrifies you. Some of you have already done webinars at this point, but sequentially I had to put it in here. Your first webinar tears you. You plan this stupid PowerPoint forever. So you're planning this PowerPoint presentation till death do we part. You screw up technically. It's boring. No one even really shows up. You hope your team doesn't realize how few prospects and leads are on the webinar, and you want to die. That's probably what follows the whole idea of, you know what, I'm a big kid now. I'm going to host webinars for my team, but then you realize that there's only 2 people on the team, and you want to have interaction, and no one's really showing up. And it's just, you know what, I'm done. This is bad news. Let me give you a little warning. Let me give you a tip. Be good. Be happy with the small numbers. They're there. Don't worry about small numbers. Do not ever worry about small numbers. But you did make a call to action on your webinar for people to get back to you and sign up, and someone does, and you feel great. Here's the deal. You host your first webinar, 5 to 9 people show up, but you give a call to action and you say, get back to me to sign up, and someone does, and you feel terrific about it. Now, pretty soon, and there's a couple good things in this training. Pretty soon you start hosting more webinars, webinars upon webinars, gobs of webinars, training your team and they can invite their leads to it, doing opportunity webinars with team members sharing. Pretty soon people start joining you regularly. Now you've got some swing, you've got some momentum. You're doing webinars on the fly. You get up in the morning and have breakfast and say, you know what, I'm going to host a webinar, and you host it and 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 people show up. It's powerful. You start getting in the flow. This is great. Now, your team grows faster than your executive function, which I train in this module. Not this video, but this module. Your team grows faster than your executive function does, and you realize people are apparently lazier than you and will not do all the hard work you have done. You start feeling superior to average people. You recruit with less enthusiasm because you're getting jaded. You lose faith that people will ever figure all this stuff out like you did, and you quit. I've seen many bodies crash right here. You work so hard to get all that momentum, and people start flowing in your team, and then you start saying in yourself, and it's not even true, you're deceived. You start saying to yourself, you know what? I'm not average. I'm above average. I do things people won't do, and so I'm not even going to tell the average people what I did because they just won't do them. And what you do is you hold back the precious the precious seed from them, and they can't grow. This is huge. Many people die there. Remember, if you give a good strategy and you have a good promise and you have a true product, people will do anything. You'll be amazed at how hard they'll work. They'll overcome everything in their path to get there. I've seen this done over and over and over. It's my daily bread. I live by it. I see it over and over. Every few months, a newbie comes in and dominates. Finally, if you don't quit, a couple people on your team start making sales here and there. They start bringing in a few new people. All these webinars you are hosting has really made you tired, though. You see that the long and ugly and emotional road ahead of these young all-stars, and seeing their excitement actually depresses you a little bit. This is where a lot of people start really backing away, and they go, oh man, I've got these young hopefuls, and they're starting on that path way back where I was. They're going through all this nightmare that I've been through up there. And, it actually is a little depressing because you think, again, the second you think you figured this thing out, the second you hit that, you go downhill. Always keep a learning mentality. Always climb up to the next guru who's real. Always, you will see, because a lot of people, they actually get depressed at their team's success. This is weird. I'm just delivering the vaccination. I've seen this. Now, about this time, though, a member of your team sends you a long email. I'm talking long, about the shortcomings of your leadership. They lace it with sometimes a bit of religious language about how you don't serve people enough, or maybe they salt it with hinting that you're selfish. that you don't care about your team like the other leader in some other industry or some other team does. It's like a Dear John letter. And here's the kicker. You've got a lot of things to do, but you feel emotionally trapped to respond, or you feel embittered and angry. It depends on your personality. Either way, this dang email sticks in your mind and you wonder if all this is worth it. Hint, you're still not at six figures. These Dear John emails, these deep, emotional, oh my gosh, that like you're their psychoanalyst counselor, and they dump everything on you, and they dump their guilt on you, and they project it on you. You will get these emails. Okay, I'm just vaccinated. I just want to ting you with the vaccination. And I want you to realize that it's okay to get them. It's okay. You're going to be okay. You have another teammate, though. Now, here's what happens after this. I'm just getting warmed up. You have another teammate start to duplicate. And you see some passive and residual income, and it's exciting, and you know it probably won't last, so you keep working hard, and more recruits start showing up. So you start getting that passive income, and it actually motivates you because it's like really great. So there is a positive in there. Now, here we go. Some people are going to quit just on this training. That hasn't even happened yet. You have your first scam report or rumor or blog or something that someone blogs about you from someone using your name as a way just to capture leads for themselves. They're just traffic. If your name gets out there a little bit, they just want to, some people just write a scam report just to do you harm. They have no ulterior motive. It's just the way it is. It's just a harm. It's like arson. They just want to see somebody burn. And you think this is going to take you down. Or you hear some rumor, your team has a rumor, or somebody posts a blog that you did this or that, and you're outraged maybe. Maybe you're insulted. Don't they know how good of a person you are? I mean, you're really giving your heart to this thing. Anyway, you want to cringe, and you think it might ruin your business. Hint, it won't. Okay, there's an old verse in the Bible that says, like a flitting sparrow, like if you're right here, like a flitting sparrow when those sparrows dive bomb you, or a darting sparrow. So is a curse without a cause. It won't land. Meaning these dive bombers, they don't actually hit you. But these curses seem pretty dangerous when someone's giving you, a blog about how you are a scam artist or whatever, just to siphon traffic. It's not even, don't even get mad at them. They're just doing a strategy. It's not a big deal. Anyway, it's not going to ruin your business. And nobody of any fame, of any fortune does not have people that think they're bad people. It's just impossible to avoid if you want to be a big timer at any level. And realize that some of the junk I'm sharing, you can't avoid it. If you go into education, you're going to have that same junk there. If you go into law, you're going to have a bunch of junk there. If you go into medicine, it's going to be a bunch of crap there. You can't escape this stuff. So just accept it and deal with it. I teach my kids this already. Even though, now here we go, if you survive this, this might make you want to run for the hills. What if your mom sees that scam report and, oh my gosh. I remember I had a conversation with my mom when I started getting a little bit more of a big timer. I said, Mom, just so you know, if you Google me online, there's probably a ton of stuff you're going to find that's great. And, I don't know what you're going to find, but you're probably going to find somebody that thinks I'm a scam artist or this or that or the other thing. And I just want you to know as my mom that I've never scammed anybody and I'm never going to. Just between you and me, so you know that. Because at some point, a friend or somebody's going to see something, and they're going to be concerned, and I just want you to know right now, this is the deal. So, just FYI, I was vaccinating my mom. Anyway, even though you're now making some money, anywhere from $3 to $7K a month, for some reason, because you are comparing yourself to the masses who aren't making crap, you're comparing yourself to the masses of internet marketers, you plateau and really think you have the insider secrets. This is a form of quitting. Again, because just a little bit of success puts you so far ahead and you're such a value. I mean, if you're making $3 to $7K a month, you're really a valuable asset to the community. You've got some strategies you can share. It's really a good thing. The insidious double-edged sword is you start thinking you know stuff, and at $7K a month, you don't. You're a puppy. You're green. And a lot of times they don't get that. And because they're hanging out with the leaders, they think they are a leader. And I don't know, they brainwash themselves. It's terrible. Or you feel somewhat proud of yourself, but believe there has to be. See, you can either do this one or you can do this one. You feel somewhat proud of yourself, but believe there has to be a better way to do this business. You find another couple direct response and leadership gurus. You actually start releasing your leaders to host their own webinars. Remember how all those webinars were killing you? Well, now you're saying you guys go host your own webinars. You develop some automated email and voicemail autoresponders, so only thing that you do is create new sales material and have high-level strategy sessions with your top producers. You could read this 1,000 times. This is the secret to leverage, where all you're doing is high-impact work. Now, let's keep going. We're almost done. This is a powerful training. Suddenly, you are starting to create a leadership culture. Your hand-holding days are forever gone. You start mailing executive instructions to your team. You give them marching orders, and they start believing in people. We're in the last stage. You were kind of like, oh, I don't think they're going to work as hard as I do. I worked so hard to get here. I don't think. When you become an executive, you say, you know what? No, they will. They will. And you tell them what to do. Tell them what to do. Don't be a commando. But here's the deal. If you know a strategy and you know what works, you tell them what to do. If you don't, you're a wuss. You're holding back, and you're ripping your people off. They're putting their good faith in you. They don't deserve your BS. They don't deserve your timidity. They deserve your guidance, just like you. You bought this course. You don't deserve to come to this training and hear me kind of like sugarcoat what's the deal is here. I'm vaccinating you so you can climb the ladder fast. Now, here's the deal. Your people start going the extra mile quicker than you thought. People are hosting their own webinars quicker than you thought. You start making sales videos and your own products. This is the caffeine product stuff. You should be doing that. And you're offering coaching packages at $1,000 and above. All of a sudden, you're invited to speak on stage. Stuff starts escalating very quickly. But remember, I got some vaccination news in a minute. You get invited to speak on stage, and it's a big deal. You're excited. You sell some product based on your marketing secrets or your team leading secrets. It's fun. You feel great. Okay, now here we go. If you have your own merchant account or you're using PayPal for some of your own products or whatever, you get your first chargeback if you have a merchant account. Money is taken out of your account. Poof. You have a $197 product, and somebody just charge back. They just charge back on the card. And you go, what the heck? Someone bought your course and thought it was all hype. In fact, about 5 to 10% of people who buy your stuff will want a refund, and you're going to want to die right out of the gate. You'd think to yourself, why on earth would someone buy something and then refund it? And it's good, but it'll happen. Again, I just saved you the drama of feeling that in real time. Thank me when you see me about this stuff. About this time, you start having some real camaraderie with leaders at a higher level than you. You finally have started making money, and you want to buy their very expensive private masterminds to grow your business. You could look at this as a sales pitch for my private masterminds, but I barely ever host them. But if you want to get in with the tight gurus in an intimate setting, it's going to cost you some money. Okay, it's going to cost you some money. And I had to turn on my air conditioner. I'm working so dang hard here. But here's the deal. But it will take a bunch more money that you've already earned. So you want to go to this private mastermind, but it's going to take a bunch of the money you finally started earning up here. But you go for it, and your spouse wonders if you're ever really going to make any real money with this business because of all the money you spend. It's like once you spend it, then you buy a higher level product or a higher level mastermind, and it seems like, when's this going to end? Can we ever actually make money? Again, a lot of times people die here. Now, again, I am Mark Hoverson. I'm known for being pretty fun and lighthearted, but this is your vaccination, so just stay with me. About this time, one of your leaders jumps ship, goes to another company. They just get recruited away, or they want to go away, or whatever. And here's the tricky part. They either insinuate or directly tell others that you are not all you seem to be. Basically, they talk some crap about you. At the end of the day, it's just some smack talk. They're talking some crap. It's kind of stabbing you in the back. And here's the weird thing, though. You helped this person a lot. Okay, you closed some of the sales for them. You walked them through some of their struggle. You were there for them. Still, They walk away, which is no big deal, but they walk away ungraciously, and you feel underappreciated or angry, depending on your personality type, or depressed. It just depends. Your personality type dictates your negative reaction, but it's either going to be anger or, you know what, I don't deserve all this success anyway. They're right. I'm really not all I'm cracked up to be. Whatever. So you plateau or you quit. I've seen so many good leaders die on the rocks right there. Again, this training is a life changer. I'm just telling you, it's a life changer. We're almost done. Somewhere along the line, though, you develop a knack for empowering leaders and vaccinating them like I'm vaccinating you right now from the early startup stuff. So this is great. When you start empowering leaders, like the whole world, the leverage that you have is just out of control. So here's what happens next. The main marketing method you were using with great success up until this point vanishes. Either the platform changes, your account gets banned, traffic moves somewhere else, and you feel hopeless, you feel scared, you feel nervous. In other words, the methods you're using that got you to this point where you now have some leaders, you have some people marketing, you have duplication, all this, that marketing method is gone. It vanishes. This happened to me with YouTube first, then it went to Google, and who really knows what's next? Facebook will probably go down. The key is that you always are looking at different avenues and different strategies for lead collection. But this was going to happen. Your main marketing method is just going to, it was hot 6 months ago and now it's not. And if you put all your hope and dream in that, you're gone. A lot of people die there. Oof. I remember when my YouTube account got banned. This was when YouTube was way bigger than it was now. And I had hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of subscribers, and people tuned into me like a show. And then I woke up and it was gone. Gone. I found out because a teammate called me crying. I said, Mark, your business is over. This was your personality was on YouTube. It's gone. Everything's gone. And I said, my business will double in the next 6 months, and it did. I'll tell you that story sometime. But anyway, you find newbies and other people on your list, this is huge, who will cheaply outsource the bulk of your time-consuming tech stuff. So you do kind of have to do that tech stuff at first and overcome it, but then you find newbies and peeps on your list that will just do that stuff cheaply for you, and they're grateful for the mentoring, and you're grateful because now you have more free time. So you give them some mentorship, they give you some tech stuff, uploading your videos and maybe even sending emails. There's things that they can do for you. This is a huge leverage point. I'll teach you about this in another course or in another time. Here, you experience some crazy tech issue about this time. All your leads get deleted, or the site you were hosting your product on crashes. All your customers can't access the products they've been buying from you on your info business, or your computer melts and you don't have any backup. Okay, all this stuff happens. I'm telling you, have everything backed up all the time. Your contacts, everything. Always be backing up. Always having redundancy. The second firewall. It's just important. But these things happen. It happens. I mean, I wish I could tell you, well, Mark, if everybody knew these things are going to happen, we could prevent them. Well, kind of. But I'm just letting you know this is what usually happens. And if you have the wisdom to go out and figure out a way to prevent them from happening, do it. But, make it happen. Like this outsourcing thing is brilliant. Okay, here we are. There are virtually, and this is while you're going to six figures. We're almost at six figures by now. There are virtually always deep and intense, highly emotional, personal issues occurring while all of this journey to six figures is occurring. There's an unexpected death of a loved one. Someone is going to die that you didn't think is going to die while you're on this journey, and it's going to rip your heart out. It's probably going to happen. There's going to be a sickness in your family. There's going to be a cancer. There's going to be some kind of thing you did not anticipate. A kid is going to get sick or break their leg or end up in the hospital. Something's going to happen. There's going to be a legal issue. Who knows, some legal issue that the old house that you used to buy, rent, something weird happened, and just something weird. There'll be a relationship drama. There could be, divorce that you're working through, or a new relationship you're working through, or kids or your teenagers go crazy and do some crazy stuff, and you're in legal stuff with them, because all I'm telling you is there is always highly, highly deeply personal stuff going on as you do your journey to six figures. And I want you to be aware of it, that it doesn't have to stop you. I just want to vaccinate you. You know, I pray those things don't happen for you. Now here, you spend your time only, if you're surviving all this, you spend your time only on new video sales letters and ideas to create surges of growth within the team. So now you're at this level. Now you're creating some inter-team competitions. You're creating some extra leadership goals for them. You're really starting to hit like an executive. You're now at 7 figures. Congratulations. Oh, if you could bear, oh man, I feel heavy doing that training, but now I feel good. But wait, there's more. There's one more little thing. Here we are. So what's the 7-figure riddle? I mean, to me, 7 figures is the new 6 figures. I mean, write that one down. 7 figures is the new 6 figures. So what's the 7-figure riddle? If you build enough relational capital in your climb to 6 figures, meaning you're not stomping on people and burning bridges and being a jerk, or really guard that relational capital. And if you didn't spend or manage your money like a drunken sailor, okay, meaning you buy everything. A lot of us, we didn't grow up with multiple 6 figures, so we got it, and then all of a sudden we're buying everything in sight, right? So we're doing that, and at the same time, we're still not really business people, so we're not taking our tax situation seriously at all. Not even at all. I mean, we could get a decent tax person for $180 a month or so to consult and go over and reconcile accounts and make sure we're either paying quarterly or we have some strategy in mind. But a lot of times people don't do this, and the tax thing kills them. I remember I'll tell you what happened. I did not plan at all for taxes. I saved a lot of money, but it wasn't. I remember I was like a $96,000 tax bill I had to send in, and I looked at that frickin' thing, and it just was really depressing. I paid it. I wrote a check, paid it off. But I wish I would have known. I wish I would have prepared. I wish I would have known the game a little better. So don't spend your money like crazy. Try to live, enjoy the success, but try to realize you got bigger fish to fry than, going into deeper debt and stupid things. Watch out for the tax thing, and you will have the infrastructure in place to ramp up to 7 figures. If you can even hear this training and survive it, you've got odds are good. Odds are good. So go print this out. Really print this out and just take notes, check it and date it. And that is really vaccination milestones to 6 figures. I didn't hit everything in there. Not all those negative things are going to go. They're not all going to happen, but I am hoping and I am speaking to you the very best information I know on how to vaccinate you. It's a semi-unpleasant. This was a semi-cruel training, but it's powerful. Watch it over. Watch it again. Print it out. Go through it. All right, gang. That is the vaccination milestones to 6 figures.